welcome inside MLB Central, presented by Essilor. Robert Flores, Mark DeRosa, JP Morosi, our insider. My name is Lauren Shahadi. Tell him he's got a lot to live up to. Tell him.
Well, you're one of the best to ever do it. I mean, you broke Juan Soto to the Padres.
I remember that.
On this show.
Okay, I remember that.
He just broke some news recently.
Henceforth.
Tell us the latest.
Henceforth, you open the show with us all the while.
You got to break a story to get on the couch.
Yes, sir.
There we go. What do we got?
What do we got?
You got something right off the top.
Yes, Shane Bieber is now a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. A 1-for-1 trade. Cal Steven, a very promising young pitching prospect who's pitched very well this year for the Vancouver Canadians, is heading to the Cleveland Guardians. And in this wide open American League, there it is, 1-for-1, Bieber for Steven. I look at the Jays now. They've already added Sir Anthony Dominguez. D-Row, one of your former teams.
I like the Jays.
They're feeling pretty good right now, playing very good baseball. Here is what their rotation depth looks like. And this is why it's so interesting, D-Row and Robert, because they now have 6 starting pitchers. It mattered a lot, I believe, internally, who they added. Bieber, as we know, a great pro. He's been a Cy Young winner. He instantly walks in there, D-Row, with the respect of the room, knowing that certainly it complicates some routines if you go to a 6-man rotation, but Scherzer respects him. Gausman respects him. I think that's important at a time like this.
You know, it's funny. I wasn't here yesterday. I flew to Cleveland. We had meetings with the Guardians and the Rockies, and I had a chance to sit and talk to Shane Bieber, and he couldn't have been in better spirits. He was coming off his last rehab start. He said he felt fantastic.
Good. Because this does
He was one of my sneaky guys. I guess it's not too sneaky because Toronto and I'm sure other teams were all over it. Not only do you get him coming back feeling good about himself for the playoff stretch, you got him next year, too.
But potentially he can opt out. Correct? So if he puts together an amazing run towards the postseason, then maybe the chances grow greater that he's, hey, I'll test that free agent market again.
Correct.
And he's healthy.
He's healthy. That's the key thing, Lauren. And to your point, he had a very effective rehab outing in the minor leagues that was well scouted. A lot of eyes were on him. He pitched very, very well. So I think for me, Bieber's ability to be part of this rotation going forward, and again, potentially even into 2026, is a big asset now for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays at the top of the American League East. Meanwhile, the Detroit Tigers at the top of the American League Central. Elsewhere in the AL, a busy night, and there is more on the way, according to Bob Nightingale. The Tigers acquiring Paul Sewald from the Cleveland Guardians. Your thoughts, JP?
He's been a postseason closer in the past, of course, with teams like Seattle. He had certainly a good tenure with the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. I like this addition. The Tigers needed a bit more swing and miss in their bullpen. Will Vest has been able to close games, but Sewald is someone that you probably trust late on in a ballgame. Yes, he does. And they wanted to miss more bats. The Tigers, they've certainly added already Rafael Montero yesterday. They have not been a team that's willing to necessarily give up their top prospects, and to be honest, nor should they. Right now, Kevin McGonigal might be as good of a prospect as there is in the minor leagues anywhere. I think they've been trying to make marginal upgrades without giving their very best prospects away, and I believe this trade achieves that with Paul Sewald.
Adds to the chaos, A.J. Hinch.
You just see him in October.
Low arm angle, up shooter, punches tickets at the top of the zone, pitched in a postseason before.
And different
another weapon for A.J.
To your point.
All right.
Bullpen, bull market, by the way.
Well, a few hours ago, actually several hours ago, it became official that Eugenio Suarez, the biggest bat, comes off the board as he is now reunited with the Seattle Mariners. So you have now Suarez, JP, at third base, and then over on the other corner, it's Josh Naylor, the 2 former Diamondbacks now in the Pacific Northwest.
And the D-backs are probably halfway to a very robust trade deadline of selling because they still have Gallen and they still have Kelly to move. But I like this trade. So Locklear is the highest rated prospect. There you see at the bottom of your screen. He actually was temporarily in the major leagues in the last 24 hours.
He's got pop.
Right, exactly. So I think the D-backs looked at the big picture here and said, they can focus on getting a corner bat because up the middle, of course, they've already got Ketel Marte. He's under control for a long time. Locklear has had some major league time. I think he's a good lead piece in this trade, especially, again, you're trading an expiring contract.
Yeah.
To get someone else's top 10 prospect in a trade like that is a very good play, I believe, by the D-backs.
And D-Ro, the Mariners clearly, I mean, the American League is wide open.
Wide open.
J-Rod is starting to heat up.
Yes.
You add those two bats now in the lineup with the pitching staff. There's a lot to like.
It was time for the Mariners to step up. I just heard it in my ear. Here they come. Got a chance to make the postseason. Not only that, if you dive in now, we've been saying they're a bat away for the last 10 years, it seems like.
Right.
It's the bat.
They've added two, and they've added two really good ones.
Yes.
This lineup gets super deep now. I mean, take a look at this, JP.
Love it. And
That's deep. That's a deep lineup.
and some playoff big stage performers like Arozarena. Polanco has come into form too, and that allows you to carry, again, a younger player like Young playing second base. It was interesting. Daniel Kramer, our colleague at MLB.com, reported last night after. So the news of this trade broke right as the Mariners lost a one-run game. So good reminder about how important it is to have that one extra bat. And Cal Raleigh, to your point, Daniel Kramer quoted him as saying, "This is what I wanted to see happen when I signed long-term. This is what we all wanted to see, the belief of the front office in us to invest in the club." And D-Ro, you've been the deadline piece before. You know what it's like in the room when the deadline move happens. It can change the temperature in the clubhouse.
Absolutely. Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor walk in the room, you're going for it. Period.
Yeah.
Johan Duran's going to walk into Philly, and they're going to be like,
Let's go.
it's game on.
by the way-
Helsley, same thing with the Mets, on down the line.
Can you imagine the entrance music that
we're gonna
Duran
get
has
into it. She's
at Target
into it.
I'm
Field?
obsessed. I
And-
downloaded it just because of
and so-
his version.
And now you're going to see that at what I would describe objectively. I've been fortunate to cover a lot of postseason games, different postseason yards. Philly is about as good as there is.
It's as good as it
to
gets.
see a
I'm
postseason
interested
game.
to see him pitch from Minnesota in that environment
Exactly.
at Citizens Bank Park. So
going
one more
back-
thing on Suarez,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
He's expected to join the team at T-Mobile, a crucial 4-game set against the Rangers. They're tied for that third wild card.
Very good point. By the way, the Mariners are the only active franchise to never appear in a World Series. They clearly have designs on changing that. Let's run through some of the previous deals that went down on yesterday. Johan Duran going from Minnesota to Philadelphia to shore up the back end of that bullpen. And then Hellboy, Ryan Helsley, he goes to the New York Mets. This is going to be a fantastic race in the National League East. Tyler Rogers, he goes to the Mets as well to join Ryan Helsley. We're going to talk more about that deal. Joel Sherman will weigh in on whether or not the Mets gave up too much. And then after he started yesterday against the New York Yankees, Zach Littell gets traded to the Cincinnati Reds to join their group as they hope to push for a postseason berth. And then Steven Matz, very interesting, going from the St. Louis Cardinals to the Boston Red Sox. So there were a flurry of trades and deals yesterday, and definitely we hope that that continues today as we approach the 6 p.m. Eastern deadline.
So for the Mets, it's going to be Rogers, Soto, then Helsley, then Edwin. Perfect world.
Yes. All
My
four
gosh,
late
JP.
inning. And D-Ro
Don't
talked
forget about
this.
Stanek.
Correct. And D-Ro talked about this as well in the context of Sewald and the Tigers. It's a different look.
Oh, my.
Rogers
He's
throwing
picking it
down
off the ground.
there. Exactly. And then Helsley and Diaz. There are going to be some fascinating late game dramatic situations in the National League
the
East.
beauty of them, too, like Duran goes over to Philly, and he's got to be the dude. Helsley goes over to New York, and if Edwin Diaz slips up, you have another monster closer.
Right.
There's
Right.
like this two-headed monster there. If the pitch shapes, I wouldn't be opposed to if the pitch shapes fit Edwin Diaz, and it's an eighth-inning slot. I know they're not going to do that.
Because
They're not gonna
Diaz
wanna
has
take
his
the-
contract already.
Sure,
Got it.
sure.
He's not trying to get incentives.
They should be willing to bounce it
It's
back.
like
and
the
forth.
Andrew Miller situation in Cleveland years ago. He
Yeah.
already had gotten paid. Have him pitch as the bridge guy in front of Allen in those years. I think my big picture point as we really get into this deadline day, we have seen this sport and the competitive balance of it. There are probably 15 teams, 12 at least, that you could say have a reasonable claim to believing they can win the World Series. And when you have this wide open of an overall
going.
major league, you've got the Milwaukee Brewers they've had the best record in market size 29 or 30, depending on how you count the population. So you've got, and by the way, the Reds. The smallest two markets in Major League Baseball are Milwaukee and Cincinnati, and they're both buyers.
You got the Angels buying relievers.
Right.
You know what?
They're
I'm
believing.
looking at the
Unless
three
they're
in a
moving
row?
Kenley Jansen, something like that. Let's bring in some depth.
But that just goes to show those Angels, just as an aside, the timing. They win 3 in a row. They're 4 back of a wild card. They say, let's try.
The game competitively is in a great place. And a day like this, with this number of teams going for it, will tell you all you need to know about the competitive balance right now and how many different markets are excited about
If
their
I'm the
teams.
Athletics, I'm on the phone with every team.
Yes.
About
And
Mason Miller?
I want the deed to your A-ball team.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's gonna
So
cost you.
Miller's name came up last night because he didn't close, and John Heyman was all over this. But I'm going to give you a name of somebody with the Athletics, and I'm not saying he's going anywhere.
Right.
But a name to watch, Soderstrom. He's not playing first base there. Kurtz is going to be there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to talk about where Soderstrom's value could be, think about A.J.
Nice
Preller, for
lefty
example. So if A.J. Preller is out there, he's probably buying, selling, talking about so many different kinds of guys.
Yeah.
He needs a left fielder for the long term. Why would you not call up the A's and talk about Soderstrom in addition to Miller? Or either or.
He might not be sexy enough.
Soderstrom can play.
I know, but you know how AJ works. He wants to
He wants the big splash.
flash and dazzle you.
What about Mason Miller? Arms a premium at the deadline. I want you to feast your eyes on this. Highest average fastball velocity, and we know he is at the top of the list. And Johan Duran right after him. Helsley, 99.3. My gosh, you said, I saw you. Go ahead.
Halverson could be moved as well. So with the Rockies, again, he's not a household name, but D-Row, don't be surprised if Halverson, we've heard Herget's name out there too. The Rockies, they need to make a couple moves, D-Row, and I think they may move Halverson today.
The NL East, though, JP. Are you kidding me with the bullpen pieces?
Love it.
And I don't think everybody who watches this show is on the Minnesota Twins on a nightly basis to know what Johan Duran features, but it's disgusting. I'm going to take you through a few at-bats and showing you the exploding stuff and his pitch usage, and then I want to flip it over to Hellboy, Ryan Helsley, to kind of team up with Edwin Diaz, what his pitch arsenal looks like, the fact that he's got different arm slots for you. He's adjusted it since 22. Let's start with Johan Duran. And we're going to start, Lauren, you love his entrance. These two guys have big-time entrances when they come into a ball game. The game is over. It's supposed to be shut down. And he's leaving Target Field, and like JP said, can you imagine, pause this, Citizens Bank going dark, and he's coming in throwing a $102? It's going to be fantastic. And he's been consistent. Give me the first board last 4 seasons. You take a look at this, all with the Twins. Look at the innings, right around the same, 67.2 back in 2022. 2025, he's got almost 50 innings. His ERA, exactly down the pike, and then his expected ERA. So he's been at one of 2 pitchers with 30-plus innings pitched and an expected ERA below 3 in each of the last 2 seasons. It's him and Andres Munoz out in Seattle. So I want to dive into what makes him so effective. We got some low homes here. Let's get back into the tape. He's got a 3-pitch mix. He's got a fastball that plays at 100, 102. He's got a wipeout slider, and he's got this splinker like Paul Skeens. That's at 97 miles an hour, and it's a bowling ball split, fall off the table. Bring up the pitch usage on Duran. Fastball percentage from 22 to 25. Let's just stay in 25. He's throwing the splinker almost 38% of the time, so you're getting a 97 mile an hour split finger thrown at you more times than you're getting a 102 mile an hour heater. And then incorporate the curveball. Throw out the sweeper slider. You can't worry about 4 pitches with this guy. It'd be fastball split, and if he breaks it off, you're dead. So I want to show you 4 at-bats against really good hitters on how he attacks. You see right here, watch the dive bomb of this split. Boom, 98. It's not 92, 94. This is 97, 98. So you have to attack it like a fastball. Here he is against James Wood. Little breaking ball, 88, get me over, steals a strike. Tries to backdoor it, 1-1. Nasty splinker almost at 99, and then he elevates 102 mile an hour fastball. It's crazy stuff. How about against a right-hander? You have almost no chance. 96 splinker, misses arm side. Look at the break on that pitch. Pause that for me real quick and run that pitch back. So Caminero just saw 96 split in off. So his first move is to kind of almost jelly leg on this breaking ball as it comes out of his hand. Run it, 1-0. You see him buckle right there? Now he's right back in the count, 1-1. Breaking ball off the plate. Give it to me again. Makes good hitters look bad. Gunnar Henderson. Take you through this, AB. Gunnar, let me tell you something. Don't ever bunt ever in your career.
Yeah.
But I get it against Johan Duran. There's 97 splinker, and there's top of the zone 100 miles an hour. So he's just got absolute nasty stuff. And why'd they bring him over? Because he's going to stare down this monster the rest of the way. Juan Soto, Lindor, Nimmo, Polar Bear. That's who he's brought over to get out and help them win a World Series. Crazy three-pitch mix. Now, on the flip side, what did the Mets bring in Helsley? He's been fantastic as well for the last couple of seasons, and he's got a nasty entrance to go with it when he shows up. So you got Diaz with the trumpets. You got Ryan Helsley coming in, the Hells Bells.
Yes.
It's all coming together for the Mets. And he gets after it. He's a two-pitch mix guy. Don't expect him to dazzle you with a bunch of stuff. It's fastball, slider, and it's nasty. And he's adjusted his arm angle. He's actually raised it 22 to 25. We see a lot of guys going down here to create more movement. Ryan Helsley's gotten on top of the baseball a little bit more. Bring up that board for me, Capalbs. Yes, arm angle board.
Ooh.
Strikeout percentage and arm angle last 4 seasons. K percentage is a little down this year. The arm angle's gone from 53 degrees to 63 degrees, so he's giving you a little different something to look at. We got another board there, Bo. Look how consistent he's been, too. MLB ranks among relievers since 2022. ERA, he's 3rd. Fielding independent. Pitching, Robert, we know what that is. Control the controllables. He's 4th. Opponent OPS, he's 8th. So
like
let's
arriving at the airport on time.
Let's go through a couple ABs. Ketel Marte. The beauty of both these guys is it doesn't matter if it's a right-hander or a left-hander. These guys are shutdown guys. Fastball, slider. Watch this nasty slider. 87 miles an hour down and into Ketel Marte, and then 101 by you. So pick your poison. Are you going to be all in on the heater, 101, which you have to be. You have to be. It's a great spit by Christian Yelich. I bet you can't do it again if I execute it. Bottom of the zone and just take it a ball out. And then it's 102, wipe out breaking ball coming again here. Devastating pitch. Will Smith, right-hander. Breaking ball, 1-0. Right back in the count, 2-0 on 100 mile an hour, and that's where he confuses you, right? Will Smith thought he bought himself a 2-0 heater, and he gets the slider, gets another slider. Now he's 2-2, and he doesn't know what he's going to throw. So one more AB. We got Corey Seager here. 89, like slider, cutter, 100 miles an hour, top of the zone. All right, give me that slider and put him away. Don't throw that pitch. He's going to hit it out. Give me a slider down and away. There we go. So two monster bullpen pieces for the NL East. And you see it right here. He's fastball slider. 83% of the time you're getting one of those 2 pitches. If you're hitting, that's what you're on. It's getting nasty in the NL East.
It is high-stakes poker for bullpen pieces, especially in the National League East.